appreciate that, man. Let's talk about Newcastle United, though. This was back, man. When was this?
Yeah,
Vlachodimos.
it's a long
That had to have
time
been
ago.
My God. Oh, that's the Bromley. That's
Bromley.
Bromley. Wow, this is the last time we used this. Yeah, because definitely I don't want none of these guys in there. All right, so we're gonna have to do a whole 11 thing. But we're gonna start with the goalkeeper. I mean, who is playing? Nick Pope
playing.
or Dubravka?
Dubravka's he's gonna start. I think until Pope's 100%, Dubravka's start. I think we've seen when Pope isn't 100% or when he's coming back from injury and how he kind of reacts in nervous fashion.
Let's throw a curveball in then, Brant. Imagine if that's part of the deal to keep him here. He is number one.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, he's earned it so far, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd keep him in.
But what if, what would happen to Pope's feelings? I mean, a lot of people, you guys worry about feelings? I don't.
Honestly, I actually still like Pope more than Dubs. I know that Dubs' footwork is so much
Tim
better.
And Peter. That's Tim and Peter right there.
But I actually think Pope could have saved that second goal from Bournemouth on the weekend, but that's just my bias.
The agenda, man. The agenda.
No, I like Dubs. I like what he's done this year. But I think Pope is a better shot stopper.
Yeah. I think Pope will also.
I don't think he would have stopped any of them on probably the last one. But I mean,
I think if you look at that second goal, it went right underneath Dubs. Like Dubs jumped over the top of it on the second goal.
Harsh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not blaming Dubs for the loss. I'm not saying that it would have changed the game or anything. We still probably would have got smacked because they just outplayed us. But I'm just saying, in terms of shot stopping, if you look at the stats, the stats don't lie on that. And Pope has saved a ton more than Dubs.
I think a trade-off, though, isn't it? Because he's better with his feet, Dubravka.
Yeah, but what's the goalie really for?
No, exactly.
I'll tell you what the goalkeeper's for the back four to pass back to. And
these days, it's tippy-tappy.
Wouldn't be passing back to Pope the way they've been passing back to Dubravka.
That's not what a goalie's for. A goalie's there to stop shots.
Yeah.
Primary job is that, yeah.
Primary. But if you're going to be picky, you look at Kluivert's first goal.
That was just an example. I'm not saying that I'm not blaming Dubs at all for that performance. Believe me.
Not at the side netting. You know what I mean? I think.
No, the first goal. Yeah, that was.
But I mean, again, if you're gonna, he actually mishit it. He hit it with his shin rather than his boot. So I mean, and I think that's what I was saying before. Any keeper can be done, and sometimes some of the hardest ones to save are the ones that are straight at you because you want to spread yourself wide. And they do have a tendency to go through your legs.
All right. Well, I mean, if Pope is available, let's go for a vote in here. Mighty Win, who would you vote for?
Martin all day.
Brent?
I mean, if Pope is 100%, I'm going Pope.
All right. Tim?
Dubs.
Peter?
Dubs.
And Gary, I'm assuming Dubs?
Yeah.
I think you'll understand as well. I think Nick Pope would... Even if he's fully fit, I think he would. He's not going to spit his dummy out. I think he would acknowledge.
No, I agree with that. I don't think he's.
You know what I mean? He'd be like fair play.
By any means.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One thing with Pope, by the way, is I've noticed this season he seems to be punching the ball a lot more for corners and stuff instead of catching it.
Yeah. I haven't trusted him since he's come back from his shoulder.
I think we have really short. I think we have short memories on the season. I know we had a lot of success with Dubs and we looked a lot better at the back, but Pope kept us in a lot of games and made a lot of key saves in a lot of games early in the year. And without him, I don't think that those saves Dubs would have made. I don't think Dubs is as good as a shot stopper as Pope. I don't think it's really.
I do agree with that. I agree. I think Pope is a better shot stopper. And he's a good player, he's a good keeper. But I just think Dubravka's earned his spot and we've got that stability with the defence, with him there. And kind of like it or not, it is better with him having the ball at his feet, especially in games like this where you want to dominate the ball to start attacks.
I think in this one, again, if Pope is even remotely injured, you don't throw him back in the mix like that. Right. I think definitely, especially like you say, in a game like this, You bring in Dubs for sure. You keep him.
Yeah. All right. So Dubravka is there. Then back four, center backs. I mean, this is another big topic of discussion, to be fair, because
Yeah.
Botman had to
I'll
come
keep,
off super
I'll
early.
keep these four in because the last four had a shocker.
Hey, well, there you go. That could be a good point.
I'm joking.
That could be a good point, though, because Botman was subbed off at halftime. Eddie never makes a change at halftime. He made one with Botman, Dan Burn, and you got Shar available. I don't think Lloyd Kelly is going to be, he's not competing really with those guys. That's why I think we should sell him if it's good enough. If the money is good enough, Juventus, we should sell him. But what do you guys think? I mean, Botman coming back?
Well, there's a few comments in the thing in there about which obviously I disagree with vehemently. Where are we regarding Mr. Byrne? I'm sure
I think
Yeah, it's farther up there. I think your
yeah,
boy Beer.
Beer Reigen was saying something about Byrne had a few shockers against Bournemouth. I do agree with that though.
really hope Byrne has dropped after his multiple clangers v Bournemouth.
Well,
So that's one bad game when he's
no, he's had a few.
player of the
Bro,
season.
that's the thing, man.
Well,
Look,
here's my question about the Byrne Botman Shar debate here. For the longest time we had Trips and he was our team captain and he was at the back, and then you had Byrne back there with Trips and probably our Champions League season, the season we made Champions League, they were both at the back. So you had a lot of leadership back there. Now that Trips is kind of on the fence and doesn't start week to week, when it comes to especially vocalization, I think Byrne is your guy. He's the leader at the back. Botman and Shah are not vocal leaders. And then you add the two youngsters on the wings. They're young. They're not stepping up to be a vocal leader right now. They're learning. I think Hall could be a guy in the future, but you don't have a lot of vocal leadership at the back four if you pull Byrne. And Byrne's played well this year. You have one bad game, sure. But that's my question to you guys. I know in terms of talent, you want to see Botman and Shar probably at the center. But in terms of leadership aspect and kind of keeping the back line aligned, I don't know how that looks when you pull Byrne, and especially without Trips anymore.
To be honest, Brant, I mean, just on a wider point on that, that's the way the game's going. I mean, leaders and characters they're slowly being just like extinguished out of the game, really, because players now are more just cogs in a machine, and those kind of characters and leaders, you're probably going to see less and less of them, and as the years go on. But that's just how it's going, I think. But yeah, I agree though about Byrne. I mean, he does. He vocalizes, he shouts and he organizes the defense. So, but I mean, was Botman injured or not?
Well,
No,
they said he was still carrying that groin strain. And to be fair, he was turning like the Titanic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was found out every time trying to get onto his left foot.
Yep.
Because every time Byrne passed him the ball, when we go into that U shape, this is what I was trying to explain the other day. When they go into the U shape, we know our fullbacks will go on high because we want an outlet. And that's why we have Tonali and Bruno usually drop into the 6. J7 will go long for any clearance balls to try and compete with. It's a standard setup for Newcastle. It's so easy as an opposition manager to set up against them, to be fair. And like I said, you've only got to watch him a couple of times. But for me, with Botman, with that turn to try and move the ball from his left foot to the right back, is always a problem because you're not protecting the ball from the player coming onto you. And we saw that against Bournemouth. So we had to go back to Byrne, and by that time, obviously, everybody is on top of you. Hence the dodgy ball to Bruno for the second goal. And that's what I said. I mean, teams are going to compete, and I think and I said this months ago. For me, everybody's crying out for a right winger. For me, I've been crying out for a right centre back to compete with Shaw because he has been poor all season in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He certainly has.
What had he said in his post-match presser to the press, as opposed to the filmed one, was that he took Botman wasn't injured. It was a tactical decision to put a right footer
Yeah, and
Right
Char's
centre.
he's the guy who dumps the balls over the top. You can't really
Yeah, true.
trust Byrne to do that at all. Char's always been that guy. So you bring him on because of the high press to try to get past that.
What was the
Welcome to
first
that.
thing? What was the first thing that Shaw did when he came
He
on?
gave it right to him and
Yeah,
almost gave
exactly.
up
It's
the
like
goal.
what's supposed to be. You say about protecting the ball and not being vulnerable. Like he literally gave it to them with a
Yep.
lackadaisical
Yeah.
crossfield, not crossfield, but pass
But that's
inside.
why
He did
you
the
got
same thing against Man U away. That should have been a goal. And obviously Shaw's been brilliant for us for a number of years. So
yeah.
love him. But he has, like you say, Gary. I agree. He's been off it a bit this season. I mean, it's a strange one with Botman because I think he's been really good since he came back, apart from that Bournemouth game, and
But he
being on
hasn't
the
had the
right
press
side.
like he had against Bournemouth, Tim.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
he's
why
not a
would
That's
right.
where he become vulnerable, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's
Aye.
not
Because
a
of that
right
high
sided
press.
center back. He's a left. He's
Aye.
a left
But then
center back. So
Van Dijk for Liverpool, does he not play a left side sometimes? And he's right-footed.
Yeah. But you've also got to have somebody who's comfortable on the ball when you do that.
Yeah.
I have no issues with, for years and years we've had two right-footed centre backs, and it's the same person. Whoever plays that left-sided, who's playing right, will open his body up in front of the attacking player coming onto him. I think the problem is you've got to be comfortable with the ball at your feet. And what we have with Shaw is a person who's comfortable with the ball at his feet. But sometimes I just don't think he's got a footballing brain. He
Yeah,
will
sometimes
look
too
for
comfortable.
he'll look for the 80-yard ball when the 30-yard ball is on, and then he'll delay, and by the time he's actually made a decision to pass, the player's then marked. So then you go backwards, And I think to me, it's all about having the right players in the right spaces. And this is no knock on Botman, but he doesn't look comfortable. Now, he's just coming back from injury. He hasn't got his speed back. He hasn't got his football brain back. And I don't care what anybody says. You don't get that in training. You get it in competitive
yeah.
football. And he literally looked so vulnerable against Bournemouth. I'm surprised we only went into the break just 2-1 regarding the goals down, because it looked like every time they went forward, they could have scored.
Well, we got to make a decision though. So
It'll be Shaw and Byrne for me.
Yeah, I think so.
That's my centre pairing.
yeah, but in my questioning to that is if Botman is the best player or the player that needs to come back to fitness or what because I'm assuming we agree that Botman is the starter center forward, or do we think that Byrne has taken that spot over Botman?
I think he does need game time, Chris. I totally agree with you, and I think that's what was forced in his lap. If I'm honest, and Eddie had to make a choice when Shaw got the ban. The only available player that we had was Lloyd Kelly or Botman, and he went with Botman, who is the better defender, or who up to yet has seen to be the better defender. Kelly looks miles away from what we want, even as a natural left centre back. So for me, it's a case of go back to what's worked for the games, get comfortable again, and then who knows? You could always bring Botman in his natural position as that left centre back a little bit later on in the game. Once the game is gone and done, and they've had the press, they've burnt out a little bit, and I think that's the concern for me. You will get the high press for 15 minutes, both halves of Southampton, because that's the way they play. And I just don't want Botman to be in a position where he is left vulnerable again, because it's not his natural position.
Yeah, but here's the thing though: Byrne gets left vulnerable all the time, and he does it on his own, by the way, as well, because he just goes up front like he's a 10, and but nothing happens to him. You know what I mean? Nobody questions Byrne. So I want to know from to the other last Tim, Peter, or Win or whatever. Well, not Win. We know that Byrne plays there with him no matter what. But anybody that's got common sense, Tim or Peter or Brent, it's a tough one, because if Botman is supposed to be the guy, he's got to play at some point on his
I know
natural
what you
position.
mean. I think what you said, Brant, about leadership, and Peter, I think is it's an underappreciated talent or element to the whole thing,
Quality.
and quality. And I think Byrne's going to start, and I think he's first choice for now. And really, I love Botman, and I agree, Chris. Going forward, he will be number one at some point. But I think Byrne probably has to play. He helps hold that defense together with his leadership. But also, he has played well as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not like just he's a lump. He's played really well on the ball and also defensively as well. So it's a conundrum because with Botman, I'm trying to weigh up, does Botman himself adapt to playing right centre back and just simply get better playing there? Or, like you said, do you bring Sher in? But the problem with bringing Sher in is, like I say, yes, you bring him in, but he himself has been lackadaisical at times. So it's like, well, you may just persevere with Botman right centre back, where he had those brilliant games when he first came back in. But I totally take your point, Gary, about the press. It's a hard one to decide.
Yeah,
I feel like Botman has to come in personally.
I think maybe in the long run it has to be Botman. Like, we bought him for a reason. We know what he's capable of. We need a right center back, but we're obviously looking for a keeper. And again, this is long term. So whatever keeper you bring in, I think is going to have to maybe be an attribute of them. They just need to be super vocal. Because again, or maybe your right center back, whoever you find on the right side. I think you just need somebody at the back that can be very vocal, get the lads together, let them know what's going on, keep everything together, keep everything tight. Because if you just have a bunch of really good players, that doesn't always work out. You see a lot of teams that go out and get the best players in the world, but they concede like crazy. So I think that just needs to be the focus moving forward. But Botman has to be the left center back long term, no question.
Wait, Andrew said, I think he's agreeing with the wrong twin, because he says, I agree with Tim. Shar and Botman will start, but he wants Byrne to start. Or he thinks that Byrne will start.
Whoa. Who's saying Shane Botman will start?
Well, first of all, everybody's entitled to their opinion, so don't be whoa-whoing anybody here. You know what I mean?
Are they not the best?
It's you that's just said.
But we're Andrew not going off of how things.
Andrew Bell says, I agree with Tim. Shar and Botman will start. I don't think Tim said that. I think Peter might be leaning towards that. Maybe you didn't dwell too much on
I feel like Botman, he's kind of like going to be, you would hope he's going to be the main man, right, going forwards. Because you saw how good he was, when they got the fourth spot in that season. I feel like this could be a game for him to come back. You're playing Southampton, bottom of the league.
There you go.
I agree.
And it's like, come on, show us what you got. Get back to your best. You're not playing one of the big boys, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to bed yourself into the fast pace of the Premier League and get back up to speed. I personally, I would put him in. I play Botman, whether it's alongside Byrne or Shaw. I mean, I don't know. It's a tricky one. Yeah,
I like that. I like that, Jordy. I don't know. I like that. But
How's it Mackham?
See, now come on, man.
Hey, that's coming from the Mackham expert, right?
There you go.
He would know.
Well, you see, he's on the border. He's in Washington, so that kind of.
No, that's Jordy.
Right next to his head.
I didn't know. Never know, man.
So, but no, good points though. But I mean, if Botman needs game time, what better game time than against the worst team in the league? And
we're talking about players being knackered. We were tired against Bournemouth. That's kind of the excuse that we heard, is everybody was tired. So, hey, Burns played all season. Let him rest.
There you go. That could be. Wayne, what's your issue, man? Like, what's up?
Well, we're all falling in the trap, aren't we?
What?
We're all falling in the same trap. It's against Southampton. We can take it easy. We can take chances. We can experiment.
I'm not asking for no stuff to go on.
But Botman's not. We're not pulling him up from the U21.
By the way, 2 games ago or 3 games ago, nobody was questioning Botman. They were surprised
nobody was questioning Byrne either. He'd been one of our players of the season.
Well, okay. Well, that's according to you. But people were questioning Fabi Scher. So, I mean, why can't we just keep trying what we try? Out of the games that Botman played, which is how many games, bro? I mean, you got Wolves, Bournemouth, and then before 2 more games before that, maybe. Mm-hmm. He was excellent, except one, And by the way, the one where everybody else was rubbish as well, not just him. So other than Tonali, obviously, but Tonali is always good. So why do we have to make a change? Why does the one that need to be punished, why does it need to be Botman?
Why does it need to be Burn?
Nobody said Burn. Nobody said that Burn needs to be punished. But why do we need to immediately change?
So yeah, what you're saying is Botman and Burn start, and I could see
if
it.
that's the case, I could see Eddie doing that. By the way,
well, I can't see Eddie doing that. I cannot see Eddie doing that after making that change at half time, specifically because he wasn't happy with where the left footer was playing right back.
It'll be Share. I think it'll be Share as well. I do think Eddie will play Share and Burn. You know, as to what I would do, I'm in two minds.
I think Share's guaranteed.
Well, guaranteed. To be honest, I don't know what he did against Bournemouth because he was just as bad.
Nothing.
And so, what's the point? I don't understand that.
I just think that's in Eddie's mind now that he needs a right footer at right centre back.
All right. Well, then, so now we're just getting to know what, just more proof that our manager tends to be stubborn with certain things. Just one more to the list. I would just keep the team the same, man. But anyways, we're the one too much on the center backs.
So yeah, I guess we have to agree on something here, guys.
We got to agree on something. So, Mighty Win, what's your starting center back?
I'll vote.
I'm going Botman Burn.
Huh?
I'm going same again, Botman Burn.
But you just said he wouldn't start Botman.
Well, I know. I'm asking what I would start.
Okay, all right. Brent, what would you do?
Oh man, probably Burn Shar.
Burn Shar. Okay, Tim.
It's a tough one. Like, I would give Shea another chance alongside Burn.
All right,
and see how he gets on. But I'd have Botman to come in very soon if Shea is still.
Yeah.
Don't hide your hand now, man. You're either gonna throw the rock and keep your hand high. Peter.
I would put Botman in, and I'll be tempted to put cat amongst the pigeons really, and put maybe Burn and maybe Botman and Shaw could be a good combination because you have got a left footer and right footer.
Well, that is the combination, to be honest with you.
Standard combination.
Yeah.
So then you got balance there. I'd be tempted to do that, but I don't know. I mean, it would be harsh on Burn as I know he's made a few mistakes, but overall, I think he's had a pretty good season. So, I'd go for that reason. I would stick with Burn and put Botman next to him.
Burn and Botman. All right, so that is 2-2 right there. So it looks like Gary, what do you vote for?
Burn and Shaw. I just think Botman's carrying his groin. He looks completely void of any speed. His turning ratio is not great. I'm sorry. I just think
we're better selling them.
Well, it's not about selling him, man. It's about bringing him back when he's fit.
Like
I said, he has been carrying.
And by the way,
a couple of weeks.
And shouldn't the club report that?
Yellows, so he's walking a tightrope kind of thing.
If that's the case, the club should have reported that already. Botman's got a little something going on, and that's what's happening.
He had a groin niggle the week before, and he mentioned it, and he said, "Can you play on?" And he said, "Yes." Now this is the typical Eddie Howe. We've got now covered at right centre back because Shaw wasn't available, Kraft wasn't available, and the only option you had was bringing Kelly in at right centre back. So I think at the end of the day, Eddie's taken a risk, but there's something for me that Botman just doesn't look right on that right hand side. Whether it's the fact that it's not his position, and you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, he hasn't played bad in games before, but we certainly haven't had teams that have come at us and put him under a bit of pressure where he's got to react really quickly. And like I say, for me, he was a yard off pace. So I'm not sure.
All right. Go on. Somebody wants to come in?
Yeah, just there was a comment there I just seen there. There's a fair point made there, about Shaw does pick out Gordon quite well, doesn't he? With those kind of long passes.
Well, he does every now and then.
The one that he gave up to Bournemouth last week, he was trying to get to Gordon though. Shanked it.
I know that was pathetic, really. That attempt, but
Yeah, he does a lot of those. To be fair, Shar, man,
Yeah.
like it's just pointless, just to the air. Some work, some don't. All right, midfield. There should be no question whatsoever. The midfield.
What about fullback?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we gotta make some. Hell yeah, we can't leave these guys here. Target on the left. He's got to go on and put some cream where needed, because where my guy at? Oh, Lewis Hall right here. Got to come back to the pitch.
There you go.
And then Trippier. I'm always open to a Trippier Livramento
honestly
conversation.
Wouldn't be mad if Tripp started.
I always got time for that, man. I always got time for Trippier.
Here's a caveat for you. If we're talking about leadership and Burn, Trippier's got the leadership. So
exactly.
Man.
Botman and Shaw in the centre, and then Trippier right back.
Botman, Shar, and Tripps. I like it.
Yeah, look at that.
To be honest, I'd be tempted to play Trippier, but the only thing is Southampton have got a lot of pace.
Yeah, they got speed.
From what I've seen down their left side.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd want to refresh the side a little bit, and that was one thing I had in mind with Tripps. But looking at Southampton, I know it's Southampton, but down their left with Walker Peters and that young winger they've got, that's the only reason, really, I would probably play Tino myself. Otherwise, I probably would look to refresh right back.
Yeah, but Tripps does sit in the 6 a lot when we go forward, especially it frees up all going down that left-hand side. What you get is Tripps then will just drop into the inside right position and sit alongside Tonali or Bruno if Tonali's moved forward a little bit. So you do get that cover with Tripps. And to be fair, I have recently watched Tino saying what a poor game. It was probably his worst performance for the club. So it wouldn't surprise me, if I'm honest with you, whether they just leave Tino on the bench this week and start Tripps.
Hey man, like I said, I always got time for Trippier coming back in because I think Trippier and for a certain time for a small time there, I just wanted him out because it felt like he wanted to leave. But I mean, I really like Trippier, man. You know, and I just feel like he can play still. You know what I mean?
He's old school in his leadership. You know, we're talking about leadership. He really is old school that way. Like, he barks out the orders and organizes the team, to be fair.
Waldo says Tino overlapping will kill Southampton. It's his whole club.
Yeah, that's true. It's his whole club. He might get an extra 5% from him.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to do well against their whole club.
Yeah, that's what people say, but I just
somewhat familiar with the players he's up against.
Yeah. All right. So who? Trippier or Livramento, mighty win?
Tripps for me.
Look at that. You got some votes for Tripps. Brent?
Yeah, Tripps.
Wow. Tim?
Tino overlaps, but he doesn't do anything with the ball.
Well, exactly. He overlaps a lot, but not really doing much. So Tim?
I mean, I agree. Tino was not good, and I wouldn't be averse to Tripps playing at all. I would still maybe play Tino for this game, see how he gets on. If he doesn't play well at all, then next game I'll be looking at Tripps. But for this one, I'll pick Tino.
All right. Peter?
It is a tricky one. I would be tempted to put Trippier in just because, you don't want to lose this one, and it's like just shore things up a bit. He's got the experience, the know-how. I mean, don't get us wrong, he's not perfect. He was sloppy as well, actually, when he came on against Bournemouth. He gave it away quite easily.
The fourth goal wasn't great, was it? Backing off.
Oh yeah, he completely backed off the whole way,
wasn't he?
Yeah, but he just, that intensity he brings, I think maybe away from home, he might need that. So, I would probably give it a Trippier. Let's go with that.
Ooh, man, that's good, man. A chance to no, hold on, Gary. What do you think?
Well, I'd give it to Tino, but we've already got 4
trips.
So
that's not for. No, because that's what trip 1, 2. Oh yeah, that's 4 trips. Yeah, isn't it? No, because Tim said Tino.
3. Yeah, Tim.
I said Tino.
Exactly.
Didn't you say Trips?
No,
I said I said like I'd be looking at Trips.
I thought Chris said Trips.
I haven't said anything yet.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
So what do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to say Tino because unfortunately, what I've seen, as much as I like the inside right position that Trips covers, we are so unbalanced down the right hand side. We've got very little action coming down that right hand side, and with Tino, as much as he doesn't do anything when he gets to that final third of the park, he's not a great crosser of the ball or anything like that. What I find with him is we see more balance down the right hand side, and it brings other players.
Yeah, he drags defenders with him.
Absolutely, because the one thing that you obviously need, the same as Hall, sometimes you need to go outside, sometimes you need to come inside. Tino does that on the right hand side as well. And like I say, you don't get much of an end product with Tino. But as Waldo has said, I mean, I think you may get a little bit more from him because it's Southampton. So yeah, I'd go with Tino.
All right. Well, I would go for so how many Tinos we got? We got 2 Tinos. That's it.
Yep. So if you say Tino, it's a tie.
Yeah. It's 3-2 at the minute.
Well, I'll give the vote to the chat, and all of them are voting Tino. To be fair, so
there you go.
So it would be a tie. It's still a tie.
So it's your casting vote.
Oh, still I am the casting vote. No, I'm gonna give it. I want Trippier to start, but I don't think he will. I think Tino will start. So yeah, I think it will be Tino. But
why do you want Trippier to start?
Because I want that leadership. I know that defensively he will place himself in the right position. He won't go forward knowing in a certain play, whatever's happening right there. If he feels like him going forward and leaving that space open is going to jeopardize the team, he will make that executive decision to. He's got more of a brain at this point than Tino, because Tino goes forward nonstop. And look, he can probably catch, if he does leave that space open in the back, he has fast enough to probably try to catch up with whoever's attacking. And I think I've seen him do that every now and then. But still, it has some lapses, man, defensively that, it's tough to watch at times. And going forward, Tino doesn't really have an end product. He really doesn't. But
okay, then I'm going to say Kraft.
Kraft is available. Kraft is available.
4-2 Trip, we don't need a cast and vote from the vote.
So, I would put Trippier, but I think Eddie will put Livramento. So that's what I'll go with.
Just think as well, corners, free kicks.
Oh, that's Trippier as well. Which, by the way, when he's on the pitch, sometimes he doesn't. He skips them. Gives them to.
Trip doesn't take the set piece, for a fact that someone off the training ground.
So there you go, Livramento in there. So midfield, I'm assuming we got it already. No issue with the midfield.
Yep, keep Longy up there. Keep Longy.
Me, Longstaff, Miley, and Willick.
So we'll put these guys here, and we got
definitely
Bruno.
Longstaff with Tonali.
No
doubt about
that. Yeah,
that would
no
definitely.
question, right?
That
We'll
would
bring that one up again.
Win, where's your numbers at? Bring them up.
Oh man, he's got them right there, man. God forbid he brings them up.
Do you think I'm joking, like Brant?
Yeah, I'm joking too.
Do you think I'm joking? Maybe I'm not.
You're definitely joking. But Gimenez, Tonali, Joe Linton. I would assume everybody's happy with that.
Yeah, and that's another reason I would have Trips there, because Trips and Bruno just work so well together on that.
That is true.
Right. Would you not play Miley? I think Miley needs some minutes.
Well, if you look at it from the perspective of
definitely needs to play.
It's a weak team that we're playing, then yeah, you can make that.
But I think
team, we're at it again.
What we need to do is put a couple goals in early and let Miley get about 30 to 40 minutes if possible.
Miley looking good, man. He's looking really good.
I just think like the midfields, the need to have that competition, which granted they haven't really got in terms of other players, but they need to know that their place is under threat. And if they have a really bad game like they did against Bournemouth, I just think like there needs to be some kind of reaction to that. And with Joe Linton, for example, I'm just thinking maybe of Miley in his place, where Joe Linton knows that, you know what, he's got to be on it to keep his place in the side, because those three, because they're so far ahead of the backup players, I do think there's a danger of them getting in the comfort zone too much, as good as they are. And when you have a game, like I say, against Bournemouth, like we did, I'm just thinking there should be some repercussions. And Miley himself is so talented you know he can come in and do the job. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen last season, and I think we need to keep things fresh a little bit and keep him ticking along. So I'd be very tempted to play Miley in to replace Joe Linton for this one.
How close is
On the
J7 to another game off for too many yellows? Because he's racking them up again.
Yeah. I think we got the best midfield in the world, man. So
I don't think after a loss, like you said, we're not quite to a point.
No knee jerks.
Miley's not quite to a point where for a fact he can come in and do something. He's close. I think we all see it. But yeah, I think after a loss, you want to get a win, get back on track, and then maybe you can
keep it solid.
Yeah.
And like I say, you've got a good player who can actually pass the ball through the lines. If later on in the game, when the opposition start getting tired, and that's what I love about having Miley on the bench now, is you've got a natural passer, progressor of the ball, that can play in that deep role. So, and it gives us cover across the three. You were saying about everybody's tired. I think the beauty of it is now with the likes of Miley and Willock, they're so versatile that they can cover a multitude of places.
All right. Left wing, I think, Gordon, right?
Yeah, no issues. He's out, isn't
he? So definitely Gordon there. Up front, Isak instead of Asula. You can.
That's Ruddy's spot.
Ruddy, man.
That's Ruddy. Is that right, Beer Viking?
Al Shabab won the Rudy as well. Almiron. This could be Almiron's last game with the tune. I thought I watched the last one, but something's going on with this deal thing. Where's the right wing? Where's Murphy?
Where is Murphy? You got him. He's not in the hospital. So, what'd you do with Murphy? Where'd you put him?
He's down the bottom, I think.
Where the hell is Murphy? No, that's
It's a youngster.
What?
Is there not two on top of Wilson, Chris?
No, Wilson is on the right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. From here, it looked like there was two overlapping.
Where the hell is what? Murphy's right here. Look.
You done? Oh.
So he was just he was hiding. All right. So he's going to the right wing. So, I mean that should be the lineup, right? Dubravka, Fabian Schär, Byrne, Lewis Hole, Livramento, Tonali, Joe Linton, Bruno, Murphy, Isak, and Gordon. That should be the lineup against Southampton. I don't think there's a point to do a player by player. Do you guys think that? I like Walker Peters though. He's a good player, but I don't think he gets in our team anyway.